They also, all right. So I'm excited about today's conversation. Because I love business development, right? And I love sharing, um, mm, I like sharing information that will get you guys, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just send the link. As a matter of fact, Elvia, drop the link to the Zoom in the chat. You guys can share this out right now, literally. You can invite any realtor, any real estate professional um, in the world to our huddles, and you can invite them real time. These Zooms are, I believe they're open. I don't believe they're registration only. I mean, once they come in, Elvia will let them in, but absolutely feel free to copy that link and share it out even right now. Text it to your colleagues. The more the merrier. So let's get into our conversation for today, which is purchase ready, building a database of purchase ready buyers, right? Let me see here. I I'm very sensitive to well, before we get started, I'm ready to get into the conversation already. My gosh, let's just get into anybody new. We don't have a lot of new faces in the room. Everybody looks like friends and family. So, but for anyone that may be new, my name is Ray Cole Jackson. I am the founder and your key instructor today at Experts University. The founder of Model Mortgage Experts, Title Experts, Transaction Experts, and Experts University. Let me see here really quickly. We still got some folks coming in. The Experts University is powered by the Experts Group. You guys know that the Experts Group is the parent company of our brands, Model, Title Experts, and Transaction Experts. The Experts Group is the umbrella company that supports you guys in your real estate businesses, providing you with wraparound services. That's what this is all about. It's a one-stop closing shop to provide you guys with wraparound services so that you guys can focus on delivering a five-star experience for your customers and clients, as well as to allow you guys to focus on what is your highest and best use, right? We don't want you guys worrying about the closing process and where that's at, because your title team is doing that. You guys have utilized the transaction coordination services. I know one of your colleagues text me, and it's funny because he had used a TC. He had never used a TC before. He had been told he shouldn't use a TC. I don't know why. But never used a TC before. He used a TC once and had a great experience, but he was just so accustomed to doing everything himself that he's like, it was great, but I just think I'm gonna just still, continue doing it. I mean, even to the point where he would come pick up his check. I'm like, come on, please send wire instructions. But the point is, was getting ready to take a trip, went under contract, and he's like, I just can't. I want to take my trip, and I don't want to have to worry about opening a file, getting it set up with title, wire instructions, so on and so forth. Send me my TC's contact information again. Sent him the contact information. A deal or two later, he's like, listen, that's it. She's my full-time transaction coordinator. I'm never touching a file again. This changed my life. I was like, I told you. I told you. So that is with regards to transaction coordination. I tell you guys all the time, that is not your highest and best use. So please, please, please focus on your highest and best use, which is getting more listings and getting more buyers under contract, right? With title experts, you guys know, if you're interested, you go into contract. I would enjoy you guys. I would love for you guys to go into contract while we're here. That would be great. New contracts are sent to contracts@titleexperts.com. General communication is sent to closings@titleexperts.com, and feel free to contact us from anywhere on our vanity number. So excited about today's topic because I know for sure that when you guys implement, not if, when, some are gonna implement immediately. and they're going to immediately see the benefits of their execution. Information changes situations, but it changes when implementation takes place. Information in your head is great, but it doesn't really have value until you actually execute. I'm going to bring you guys behind the curtain and let you guys know that one of my affirmations that I speak to myself every morning is that I am blessed with a creative mind and an executing spirit. I realize that ideas alone are worthless. Execution creates value. I am blessed with a creative mind and an executing spirit. I realize that ideas alone are worthless. Execution creates value. And so you guys, we gather every week, many of you twice a week because you're on the Tuesday calls as well. My challenge and my charge to you today and my reminder to others is to make sure that the information that's relevant to you based on where you are in your business and what you need to move your business forward, make sure that you implement as soon as possible, as soon as practical for you. Okay. So with that being said, I want to remind you of our conversation last week. Our conversation last week was about, we talked about seller leads, but I want to remind you that, remember, at least a month ago, I told you guys that I was going to ensure that 50% of our conversations were around marketing and business development. I told you guys that we wanted to make sure that 50% of our conversations were around marketing and business development, because companies go out of business because they don't have enough customers, right? They don't have enough customers. And so they could have the best, let's use Chick-fil-A, for example. Chick-fil-A could have the best sandwiches, the best services, but no one would know if no one went there. No one would know that if they didn't have the patronage. Likewise, some of you are master negotiators. Some of you are you can market a property like nobody's business. You can comp out a property like nobody's business, but do enough people know that, right? Are enough prospects interacting with you, coming in contact with you, so that they know about what the services that you provide, right? And so again, 50% of our conversations are going to be centered around making sure that you have enough business, as much business as you want at least, right? So last week, I reminded you, and I'm reminding you again, like I just mentioned, your ability to identify and nurture a profitable lead source will affect the success of your business. Your ability to identify and nurture, not just identify, but nurture a profitable lead source will affect the success of your business. Pregnant pause for a reason. And a pause there to make sure that you receive that. Okay. Reminder: marketing is the lifeblood of your business. Marketing is the lifeblood of your business. So the next time you're too shy to tell someone that you're a real estate sales professional, understand that marketing and people knowing about your business is going to, just say amen to that. That is the lifeblood of your business. Anybody heard the term live by, die by? You live by and die by the strength of the marketing that you promote of your business, your promotion of your business. I always ask the question, how many people know you and know what you do? How many people know you and know what you do? Every time I say that, it takes me back to an experience I had when I first launched my own firm, my own law firm. And The Sun Sentinel, I believe was the name of it. The local newspaper in Broward County wrote an article. It is Sun Sentinel. They wrote an article about the launching of the law firm. And so I posted it on Facebook, and it was just so many people just went crazy, like, oh my God, you're an attorney. And I'm like, what? Like, a lot of you guys been friends with me since college, right? But for whatever reason, that article reminded them that I was a real estate attorney. And I just, it revived and reignited and reminded a lot of people. That's a different conversation that we got to have. Some of you guys need to have some campaigns. They call them campaigns. You can keep your same marketing message, but what's the campaign for this season, right? What's the campaign for this quarter, right? What's the campaign for what's going on in this market right now? That's a way for you to re-engage and remind a lot of people of the business that you're in. And so my point is, when that article came out and everyone was all excited about me opening my own law firm, they were excited about that. But again, some people were clearly reminded that I was a real estate attorney. I was like, oh, a lesson was learned there. Guess the lesson that was learned? Oftentimes you're going to have, for many people, a master status, right? So to your family, oh, that's my cousin, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my aunt, that's my uncle. To your friends, oh, that's my best friend. To this person, that's my gym buddy. To this person, that's my running partner. To this person, that's we go out to eat. But they forget that, hello, at the end of the day, I'm a realtor. I assist individuals in buying and sell real estate. And so not just how many people know you, but how many people know what you do, right? So that's the marketing concept in general. Now, some of you, a lot of people know you, and you come in contact with a lot of people. The missing piece to your marketing, though, is capturing contact information and nurturing them to conversion. You have a lot of, probably most of us have a couple hundred contacts in our phone. How are all those people in your database? Because of the generality of the business that you guys are in, you can easily put everyone in your phone in your database. Because what? Everybody needs a place to live. Whether they are renting or buying, everyone should be interested in what you do in your business. You guys are in the best business. Literally, honestly, your business is recession proof. Your business is recession proof. Red alert, your business is recession proof. Now, what stream of business you're going to be in based on how the market is performing may change, but you are in real estate. Everyone is always going to need somewhere to live. Businesses are always going to need somewhere to operate if you're in the commercial space. Even if they say, oh, they work from home. They work from home. Okay, so they need real estate. Your business is recession proof. You ought to get excited about that. I'm excited about that. I just reminded myself about that. Your business is recession proof. So everyone in your phone needs to be in your database, in your CRM, receiving your communication about what you're doing in the space and what is going on in the market. All right. As the real estate market becomes more competitive, it is important to build a database of purchase-ready buyers. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about buyers. Last week we talked about sellers. This week we talked about buyers. What are we talking about? Competitiveness in the market. Inventory, right? There's not as many homes. There's not as many homes that are available for purchase. So those that are available for purchase, if you want it to be your buyer, they need to be ready. They need to be ready, right? Having a database of purchase-ready buyers is an asset for you if you're looking to close deals faster and more efficiently. You want to close more deals faster and be more efficient in that process. Last week, we talked about seller leads. For those that were off the call, I just want to make sure to recap there. And we talked about seller leads in this unconventional market right now where, you know, some of them are not trying to move. They're like, I got that 2% interest rate, or I understand I could sell for this number in this market, but if I sell for this number in this market, then I got to buy in this market. So now you're having to go into spaces where selling is what this contact needs to do. They need to sell, right? And so we talked about tax lien opportunities. We talked about foreclosures and short sales. We talked about estate sales, same as probate, people that are having to go through the probate process. And so they have an estate that has real estate that needs to be sold. We talked about divorcees. Generally, that property is being sold, right? We talked about absentee owners. We talked about expired listings. And we also talked about for sale by owners, or FSBOs. Those were some of the seller lead opportunities or unconventional seller lead opportunities that we spoke about last week that you can consider in this market, as some other sellers are probably kind of cooling their heels and saying, I'm not sure I want to release my real estate in this market because, again, where am I going to go? That was last week. This week, what are my buyer leads? What are my buyer lead categories? I know that there are many realtors that say, I don't work with buyers. That's your choice. But I can say that even if you, for example, what about the referral fee that you could participate in because you have a ready buyer, a purchase ready buyer? You might not be in a position to show the property, but if you say, hey, exactly. Angelique said, if you're a listing realtor, you should work with buyers. What do sellers want? Sellers want buyers and buyers want sellers. And I don't know about you, but it feels real good to get both sides of a deal. It feels real good to get both sides of a deal. All of a sudden, that 20 deals that you have as your goal for each year, you just double-sided it. You just knocked off another deal. So now there's only 18 left instead of 19. Hello, somebody. Manifesting a double-sided deal come on, I love it. See, that's why I love this community. A double-sided, and if you take action on this, you should. Everyone in the Experts University community should be double-siding deals to the extent possible, especially, see, I'm about to get off script now, especially if you, let's say, for example, you target a particular community for sale and purchase. I mean, hello. Let's say, for example, you use Wellington, you target Wellington, and you say, I am the Wellington real estate sales professional, specialist. I know everything about the Wellington communities. Exactly. If you need to list, you need to talk to me. If you want to buy, you need to talk to me. So now all of a sudden your database is all people that are in or interested in being in Wellington. So what do you think is the likelihood of you getting a listing in Wellington, shooting that listing out to your database, and that database of interested Wellington buyers? What's the likelihood of you double-siding that deal? Pretty high. So this is why, like Angelique, my co-host, my name Angelique, the co-host now, has said, if you work with sellers, you should be working with buyers as well. Oh, and by the way, here's my mind thinking further. The reason that a lot of realtors are turned off from working with buyers because they don't want to drive from here to there and all that. If you say, I'm the Wellington expert, now what are you driving? You're driving Wellington because that's what you said you do. I'm going to say one more thing, and then we're going to get back on this. Now we're talking about farming, branding yourself. Exactly. Now we're talking about farming, and we're getting very intentional about the area that we would like to work. Going back to last week when we were talking about seller leads, you guys remember I told you that Elvia dialed for us. And so initially, and Elvia, you can check me on this. Initially, we would get leads from, oh my God, from Boca to Jupiter. We were just zigzagging it, you know, whatever Elvia scheduled is where we were going. And eventually, not very long, I said, you know what? No, we're not doing that. We are going to scale back and we are going to focus on these zip codes. And we're only going to dial in these areas, right? LV, we said we're only dialing in these areas because now we can do easily 3. Of course you can eat. It's just so funny. That's what it's about. This is a lunch break. Now you can easily take 3 appointments in one day, 3 listing appointments in one day, because they're right there. They're in your farm area. They're in this geographical area that you carved out, right? Now, when you do a mailer to say just listed or just sold, now that mailer is multi-purpose, because these are the people that are continuously seeing you anyway. So what if you're someone that you mail every month, you mail every quarter? Now all of a sudden you're just listed or you just sold is multi-purpose. You're hitting them with the quarterly mailer. Oh, and by the way, this I just sold. You see, so these are some of the benefits of farming and having a targeted demographic, geographic, right? All right, so that's my little soapbox. Back to our regularly scheduled program. So buyer lead types: first-time buyers, move-up buyers, someone needs a bigger home, downsizing buyers, someone saying, okay, we don't need the 5-bedroom, 2-story home anymore. Kids are gone, no grandkids anytime soon. 2-2 or 3-2 is sufficient. They're downsizing. Relocating buyers, right? Second home buyers, investment property buyers. Yes, stats. Farming will allow you to know your community like the back of your hand. You know the stats. Now you're truly the expert and the specialist in that community. So these are all type of, what about students? What about professionals such as traveling nurses, or what about doctors that are moving into the area? What about professionals, CEOs, for example? In some areas, you have whole companies that are moving to your city, right? That you can service. What about luxury buyers, townhome buyers? When you are figuring out, again, when you market, this is the type of thought process that you have to have. Who are my people? Who are my people? There's one important thing realtors don't do about their farm area. What's that, Angelique?
They don't check the building department to see who's pulled a commercial permit. Hence, Walmart might be coming in or Target might be coming in. And then you don't, when we see bar barricades, we're late. So if you can connect with somebody in the building department in your farm area, it is awesome, because you're going to know things that the seller, the buyers, nobody else is going to know, because people don't go that far.
There you go. There you go. So you're becoming an expert literally in your community. Jessica says students in rentals is how she got started back in undergrad, put mom and dad on the list and on the list, and it was great. Renters become buyers. And here's the deal. People know people. That's the other thing you want. Think about it, guys. You want people, you want contacts, you want people to know you, and then they will refer you out, even if they're not necessarily ready to purchase at this time. So why do we want purchase ready buyers? Guys, remember I told you I'm very strategic. I didn't just say buyers. I said purchase ready buyers. You don't just want buyers. Anybody could be a buyer, but are you purchase ready? That's the reason why I like expires and FSBOs. We know they are ready to sell. I'm trying to get as close to the money as possible. I'm trying to get as close to the closing table as possible. So remember, I told you guys last week, not shotgun method, sniper method. Not shotgun method, sniper method. I'm very pointed. I know who I want to talk to. I know who I want in front of me. We want purchase ready buyers because time kills deals. How many of you want a buyer that's like, oh, I'm so ready, I'm interested in this property, but oh, I need to get a pre-approval. Oh, wait, I have to, what? That will be that. Sorry, sir. The home will be gone. It will be under contract and closed in 30 days. Time kills deals. This is why you want purchase ready buyers, right? Yes, and we're gonna get into that. You want purchase ready buyers because bombshell, real estate, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. Because unfortunately, sometimes we get into the habit of servicing the deal that's under contract and then we forget. And now we got to start back up again, looking for the next deal. If you have a database of purchase ready buyers, you have created for yourself a funnel of steady income. Again, not just buyers, but purchase ready buyers. If you think of it like a factory, next one off the hopper. Who's the next one that's ready, right? You want steady income. So, like I mentioned, the reason why we're saying purchase ready buyers, you're saying, how can I shorten the time between contact, the initial contact, and closing? Hey, Archie, good to see you. How can we shorten the time between contact and closing? That's why we're saying purchase ready buyers, not just a buyer, but a purchase ready buyer, because I'm trying to shorten the time period between me and the check, right? You do that by creating purchase ready buyers. So what is a purchase ready buyer? Three things. That part. Three things. A purchase ready buyer is three things. They have completed your buyer consultation, i.e., Angelique said it, your standards. That's your standard. They have completed your buyer consultation. They have received your a loan approval, and we know where their cash to close is coming from. Cash to close is confirmed. When I say cash to close is confirmed, that means we have a loan approval. If they are purchasing cash, we see their proof of funds. We know where the money is coming from. And thirdly, they're receiving follow-up for conversion. That's what your purchase ready buyer looks like. Three things. They've completed your buyer consultation. We know where the money's coming from, and you're nurturing them for conversion. That's a purchase ready buyer. How many purchase ready buyers are in your database right now? Some of you are further along. Some of you are gonna have a pretty good number. Some of you are gonna be like, ooh, 0. Ouch. Okay, that's fine. We all start from somewhere. But going forward, you're gonna look at your database and say, who's purchase ready? Let's look at all these in part. What is a purchase ready buyer? Number one, have they completed your buyer consultation? Have they completed your buyer consultation? Again, Angelique just said it. What's your standard? What does your buyer consultation require? What are your standards? What are your standards to believe that you have everything you need to know that that buyer is ready to move forward and not wasting your time when it's time to make a move on purchasing, make an offer to purchase? What should that buyer have done with you to ensure, again, that they will not be wasting your time when it is time to make a move, to make an offer on a property? Do you know their purchase price? Do you have their pre-approval? Do you know about their cash to close? Now, this time I broke out loan pre-approval and cash to close, because you could get a pre-approval, but do you have the cash to close? Do we have the money in the bank for that cash to close? What's their timing to move? Because you want to categorize them. Someone that says, oh, I need to move at the end of the year because that's when my kids get out of school, or that's when my contract will be done with this particular job, versus someone that says, I need to move right away because I just took this new position. I think there's going to be a little difference in the sense of urgency of who you should work with, right? You already know the property type they're looking for. We know the property features. We talk about, we laugh. I know Angelique can laugh now, but we always laugh when she talks about how she took the buyer out and showed her, what was it, 8 properties, Angelique? 8 properties, and did not make not one offer. Did not make not one offer after 8 showings. And so the other thing I'll tell you is that your consultation can be, that was a long time ago. Your consultation types, you can have 2 types of consultations. You can have a very brief initial consultation. Angelique just mentioned in the chat that she speaks to the lender prior to even conducting her buyer consultation. The second part of purchase ready is the buyer having a loan pre-approval and having their cash to close. So what if your buyer consultation is the first part, maybe 15, 20 minutes, you make the introductions, you get some preliminary information, loop them back to their lender if they do not already have a pre-approval, to get that pre-approval for you then to now set the game plan for a time frame for purchase, right? So they could have said they were absolutely ready, but they went and spoke to the lender, and the lender was like, not just yet. They need a little bit of credit repair, or we're going to shoot for some down payment assistance. So that may take a little bit more than 30 days, right? What is the lender saying their time frame is to be purchase ready, right? So buyer consultation could be long form, could be short form. You guys determine that. I don't want to tell you, make you do a thing that you know is working for you, but a purchase ready buyer has completed your consultation. Number 2, a purchase ready buyer has cash on hand. If they're financing, they've received their pre-approval and they've confirmed where their cash to close is coming from. Prepare your buyers for loan approval by repurposing your checklist as marketing material. Here we go again, multitasking. Here we go again, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Repurpose your requirements. So example, again, what are your standards when they complete the consultation with you? How about you put some marketing together around that? It could be your graphics that you post on social media. It can be the emails that go out to your database. You're conditioning them. For those that have not met with you, you're conditioning them for what they're about to hear when they meet with you. For those that did meet with you, you're reminding them of the process to get to closing, right? Purchase ready buyers, they need this all day long. It takes some people a little bit of time to pull together this information that's needed for a loan approval. So again, how about you nurture your people? Many of you have this graphic from the home buyers workshop. Pull it out, dust it out. You dust it off. You don't have to wait for a home buyers workshop to be coming up to post this, to send this out, to text this out, right? This part of your standard marketing, right? So prepare your buyers for your process by repurposing your checklist and your requirements as marketing material. Thirdly, what do we say? A purchase ready buyer is regularly receiving information from you to convert them to a sale. They're being nurtured. So what does that look like for you? They must be receiving follow-up communication, including, I would suggest, property recommendation emails from your MLS. They've already told you the community they want to live in. They've told you a bed and bath mix, approximate price point, approximate features they would like. Set them bad boys up in your MLS and let it fly. Let it fly. Because now the carrot is remaining in front of them. And oh, by the way, you're also staying top of mind. Absolutely. Blog about the community, right? Text messages, things that are going on in the community. Drift. People will forget. Life will get ahead of them. That's just because what it is, but they still want to buy. They still want to buy though. So you have to remind them that, oh, properties are coming on the market and I'm available to assist you with making an offer to purchase those properties. So recap, not just a buyer. Again, 24 hours in a day, about 8 to 10 hours in a day, you're going to commit to work. Probably more like 8 is what I would like to see you guys do, right? So you want to spend your time on not just any buyer, but a purchase-ready buyer. What does that look like? They've completed your consultation. They have cash to close, and they're hearing from you to convert them to take action, make an offer to go into contract. Purchase-ready buyers, not just any buyer, but a purchase-ready buyer, right? Along with your nurturing of your buyers, educate them that time kills deals, right? Remind them that time kills deals. That's what a purchase-ready buyer is. Not just any buyer, but a purchase-ready buyer. If you're going to change the way you deal with your buyers, put purchase-ready in the chat. Purchase-ready buyers. Purchase-ready buyers. You'll no longer get excited about just anyone saying they're ready to buy. And you're going to hit those 3 elements. Okay, are they scheduled to do to complete a consultation with me? Do they have their cash on hand? Do I have a way to follow up with them? Purchase ready, let's go. She said purchase ready. Do the 3 things before you get excited about a lead. You're gonna hear Ray Cole in your ear like, oh God, I was never mind. I guess I wasn't. Have they met with me? So we're clear on what the requirements are to work with me. Number 2, oh, by the way, that's a whole nother conversation. Did they sign your buyer brokerage agreement during their consultation? Let's engage them. Let's lock it in. Let's make it official. Let's make it official. We talked about that. That's Angelique's time. We're gonna get Angelique back on the. I'm all in Angelique's content now, talking about that, the buyer brokerage agreement. But again, 3 things. You guys will no longer get super excited about just anyone that says they're ready to buy, because you're gonna run them through this three-prong test. Are they on my calendar for my consultation? Do we have a loan approval? Do I have a way to follow up? Then we know they're purchase ready. In closing, y'all say I work a lot. Every day, guys, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. Every day, I'm thinking of another way to cut down friction, as Mr. Bezos calls it. He calls it friction, and I think he knows what he's talking about. If it works for Jeff Bezos, it's gonna work for me. Every day he said he's trying to figure out a way to cut down friction. Friction is something that, girl, I want to be like me when I grew up too. And my highest vision of myself. He's figuring out a way to cut down friction. He's trying to figure a way to cut down the space between where I am and where I'm trying to go, the result. Today, the goal was to cut down friction on this buy side, so you're not spinning your wheels. And I tell you, when you set that standard, it's gonna feel so good. And they're gonna appreciate you. Ms. KO, don't play. They're gonna appreciate you because they're gonna be like, oh, how many of you have hired someone and they had that process so efficient and they were pushing you towards the next step, that it hurt so good? It hurts so good. You were like, oh, I hate you, but you're right. I should be doing this. And then they followed up with you, very professionally persistent. It hurts so good. You were like, oh, your efficiency. Oh, I hate you, but I love you. They're gonna love you because you're gonna hurt so good. Work smarter, not harder. So often people are working hard at the wrong thing. Working on the right thing. Mr. Barrett, working on the right thing is more important than working hard.
Hi, Angelique and Ricole.
This is one of the hardest working guys in on this side. What's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. Just saying hello. Saw Angelique, haven't seen her in forever, so I just wanted to say hi.
There you go. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Wait a minute. Who's that? I missed the name.
That's Andre.
Oh,
Andre
Mr. Barrett.
Yep.
His brother is my favorite. Shh.
Oh. Well, listen. Listen, we got to do lunch soon.
For sure.
That's another conversation. I got to bring you on to talk about something else. But listen, let me let these people get to their day. Working smart, working on the right thing is more important than working hard. Working on the right thing is more important than working hard. And so for you guys today, I want you to focus on what part of your processing of your buyers. And again, this obviously this spans into all areas of your business. But where can I cut down friction? Where can I get more efficient so that I'm working smarter and not harder? And make no mistake, putting these systems in place, there she goes, putting these systems in place will hurt a little bit because you're dismantling something to rebuild it again, probably in a small way. But once it's in place, it'll feel so good, right? Work smarter, not harder. Work on the right thing is more important than working hard. All right, guys, go get you some purchase ready buyers. You have been gone for 9 days. And so that's the last thing I want to say. You reminded me. Thank you so much for that, Angelique. You reminded me. So this, oh, thank you. I need to get on your webinar. I see that webinar coming up. This month's series is called Spring Strategy Sessions. Summer is coming. The purpose behind this series is what Angelique just said. You guys want to be able to take a break and your business still goes on. Oh, by the way, next month, June, there'll be no huddles, there'll be no classes because Ricole is taking a break. And the business will go on. Yes, it will. You listen, you're still gonna get this business, but because there's systems in place. But the point is, I'm glad you reminded me that, Angelique, that is the focus of why I'm being very strategic about hitting these pieces of you guys' business. Master these, and you will be able to take days off, weeks off, maybe even months off, depending upon your business. So let's fine tune these things. Summer is coming. We talked about last week sellers. This week we talked about buyers. Next week we are talking about your CRM. And then finally, we're going to talk about utilizing virtual assistants to help you with your business while you're here and you're away. All right. This has been great. An in-person meetup, one-day conference is coming. Y'all keep asking. We keep threatening to do it, but it's coming. It is coming. I'm glad. Thank you guys so much for all your feedback. Thank you guys. I hope you're ready. A couple of you guys gonna be on the stage, so get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, guys. Oh, I know. We got to do it. We got to do it. Miss Trap, good to see you. And I'm glad to see you posting on social. I get on her. She did it. All right, guys. I will talk to